Guys, this is how we conduct our live classes also on the same platform. This is how our teachers teach. Okay, so let's get started. So before anything else, let us think what is our target. What do we want to do? Okay, so we are thinking of EPFO exam. It has got 120 questions, which are to be done in 120 minutes. That is 1 minute per question. Then there is 1/3 negative marking in the paper, and there are 100 marks. 100 marks of equal weightage, so 120 questions and 100 marks. Okay. Next thing. Before thinking of what our target should be, let us see what happened last time. This exam happened previously in year 2016. At that time, cutoff was 49%. 49% means approximately 58 marks out of 120. So we'll be discussing everything on the scale of 120 only. So 58 marks was the cutoff for general category students in year 2016 when this exam happened. Okay. So now let us think what has to be our target. To decide that, we also have to find out whether cutoff is going to go down or cutoff is going to go up. So let us try to make some guesses. Let us try to make some assessments. Okay. So in year 2016, and now we are setting in 2020 when this exam has to be done. So guys, in year 2016, there were 257 seats, right? This time we have 421 seats, correct? Okay. So now, first thing which we know is that the number of seats are close to double. Okay. What does this mean? This means, okay, now that more number of vacancies are there, this means cutoff can go down. Cool. Okay. Let us look at next factor. Next factor is number of aspirants. Because only seats will not decide everything, right? Let us look at number of aspirants. So the number of aspirants in 2016 was 1.5 lakh. This time the number of aspirants are 9.84 lakhs. That means close to 6 times, more than 6 times, right? Okay. So this shows that the cutoff will go up. The cutoff will go up. Third thing, these are COVID times. COVID times means what? Out of these 9,84,000 guys, some of them have lost their jobs. They are sitting at homes. Maybe they'll prepare for the exam. People have more time. So people are putting in more effort. So the seriousness level for this exam, and considering that more people will be interested in this job, the cutoff, because of COVID situation, the cutoff will go high. Okay, so one factor says cutoff will go down, two factors says cutoff will go high. Okay, next thing, what do we know? In 2016, let me choose another color. In 2016, the weightage between written and interview was 50-50. Right now, this weightage has changed to 75-25. What does this mean, guys? This means that now the written exam will decide whether you will be in final merit list or not. Of course, interview will also play its part. Interviews has got 1/4 weightage in the overall final score, but now the weightage of written score in the overall final merit list of UPSC has gone higher. So this means it becomes even more important for us to put up a good score when we sit in this exam in year 2020 or early 2021, whenever it will happen. We'll come to that also when exam can happen. Okay. So considering these numbers, we believe that all of you means those who are serious for this exam, those guys who really want to see themselves to be enforcement officer under Ministry of Labor and Employment in year 2021 or 22, whenever you will start working with Government of India, you should be targeting a score of 75 out of 120. So this is our recommendation, and it's doable. We'll tell you how you can do it. You should be targeting a score of 75 out of 120 if you are planning EPF. There is another reason why you should be aiming a higher score, because interviews are always unpredictable. Believe me, even if you prepare very well, still chances are that you won't do well in the end. So just to take care of that adverse performance as well, we want you to put up a great score in the written exam only. That is why it's a realistic target. We are not telling you to score 90 out of 120. Target a score of above 75 out of 120. Great. Let's move on. Okay, so now we know that what is our score. Cool. So what we'll do today. So whatever we'll do today, our target is this only. This is our target. So whatever we will be discussing, that will be in line of achieving this target only. Okay. So couple of things. What is covered in the syllabus? So of course, this is a syllabus which has been given by UPSC, but this is a very high level syllabus. What has to be excluded, what has to be included, it's a very, very big question. It's a very, very big question. Whether you have to study acts only or you have to also study rules in acts. Take any example. Take maybe some easy topic, computer knowledge. So somebody has to decide. Somebody has to decide when you are studying computer knowledge topic, what should be part of syllabus. I'll give you one example. So there can be one question on convert 92 into binary. Of course, this looks to be a part of syllabus. What about converting 95.25 into binary? Is it part of syllabus? What about converting minus 95 into binary? Is it part of syllabus? What about converting minus 95.25 into binary? Now, I mean, just to tell you, because I teach this topic, you should not worry about conversion of negative numbers into binary. But you should be familiar about conversion of these whole numbers and fractional numbers into binary. So same way we have to make decisions at every point. Take any other. You are studying general science. So okay, come on the chat box, whatever you know. Up to which class books are sufficient for general science? On the chat box, I want to hear it from you. For general science, okay, Nishant says 10th, Pranali says 10th, Mohit says 10th, Shantanu says 10th, Chiranjeevi says 10th. And you know, guys, all of you are wrong. Questions have been coming from class 11th and class 12th books of NCERT, physics, chemistry, and biology, and they have come in year 2016. So what does that mean? Should we start studying now physics, chemistry, biology of class 12th? Oh no, come on. If that would have been the case, then some of us would have been graduates of IITs, right? So where do we stop? Now that we at Human Pegasus are telling you that for EPFO exam, NCERT books of class 11th and 12th are also important. What do we do? Should you be start doing organic chemistry now? Think about it. Oh, of course, we'll tell you. But guys, there are a lot of misconceptions which are going in the market. So somebody is writing about EPFC. So okay, Sumit Kumar is asking, in APFC exam class 11 12th might come, but not in EPFO. No, Sumit, that's why I'm saying this is a big misunderstanding. And we'll tell you, I'll show you some questions, Sumit. Hold on for some time. Okay. Okay, so this is the first agenda, and then what next we'll do, from where to study 2016 paper, what can we make out of it, then topic wise analysis. So these are the broad areas along which we'll discuss everything. And of course guys, we'll talk about the subject. This is not a class to give you general gyan, guys study hard, do well. No, I mean all of you are graduate or postgraduate students. You do not need gyan. So everything we'll be speaking with examples. We'll be speaking about the content only and no generic gyan today. Okay. So what do we expect from you? Sit tight for next 40 to 45 minutes and you will find a lot of value from today's class. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so guys, what we have given you, by the way, we have given you live classes and videos. We have given you printed booklets. We have given you online question bank, and we have given you full length mocks. Now there is something again, because now we have been interacting with you for last couple of months. There is something which I want to discuss with you guys. The question is whether doing only booklets is sufficient. This is the question. So basically, we give you recorded videos, we do live classes. Other than that, we give you two major things. Like one is the nice colored printed booklets which you have received through a courier. Second is the online question bank which you access through username and password. So guys, this online question bank is super important. Doing only booklets is not sufficient. Going through only booklets is not sufficient. If you ask me their relative importance, I will say booklets 30%, question bank 70%. So going through only our booklets is not going to get you a good score in UPSC EPFO exam. You have to go through these questions as well. Can we spend a minute and show it to everybody?
Hi guys. So this is our question bank, and I guess every single person sitting here knows about it. You all have got your username and passwords, right? So under all these topics, you'll find all these tests. They can all be taken again and again. You can reattempt any number of tests.
Yeah. So this is how this is a question bank of every subject. So now this Indian polity has, I don't know, maybe around 1,000 or 1,200 questions. So guys, similarly, you have been given this question bank for all the topics. I think for English, we are planning around 2,000 questions. For Indian economy, around 1,300 questions. Guys, you have to go through each of these questions and their detailed explanation. So why I'm emphasizing on these questions? For three reasons. Number one, booklet will not cover entire syllabus. There are so many things which you find in question banks, because we also keep uploading a lot of new things. The content given only in booklets is not sufficient. Second thing, booklets anyway don't have questions. For example, you can see Indian judiciary test, right? Indian judiciary test has got 74 questions. In in booklet you will find maybe 5, 10, 12 questions on Indian judiciary. Even those 5, 10, 12 are not explained, and the real value is in explanation of these questions. Third thing, whatever updates they keep happening, whatever updates they will keep happening, we keep creating a lot of new questions on those updates, and they are uploaded on the online test platform. Because of these three reasons, the booklet, doing only booklet is not sufficient. Second thing, guys, you know, these are random questions. Of course, you go to internet, you can find 5,000 questions on polity, right? These questions have been very carefully chosen. Although we have different approach for different subjects, I'll tell you about polity. This question bank, which is in front of you right now, this covers every question that has appeared in last 20 years in civil services, in NDA, in CDS. Not only that, this question bank also has questions which have been appearing in other recruitment exams like Assistant Provident Fund Commissioner, Assistant Labor Commissioner, Administrative Officer in DRDO, Store Officer. So whatever UPSC has been doing in last so many years, we have put together everything in a single book. And we have taken a lot of care in improving data also. For example, if there was a question in year 1993 in UPSC about liberalization, now that might not be that relevant because that question came in 1993 because that event happened in 1991. But right now it might not be that relevant, right? So we have taken that care as well to make sure that you get more and more relevant questions from me. Can we just take a minute and how detailed explanation has been given?
Sure, I'll just open up a test and I'll submit it so that we get to the result section.
Guys, this is how you write a test. So Shiva, let us jump on to the detailed explanation.
Sure.
See guys, we are repeatedly focusing on this thing, booklets only not sufficient.
It's almost there, sir. So
almost there. Okay guys. So this is how the test appears after you are done. And guys, now look at this detailed answer in red color. Can you see it? So these detailed explanation with every question in red color, please do not miss that. Okay, so this was about question bank. Can we move on to the next thing now? Yeah.
Sir, I would like to add a point for the students here.
Yeah, please.
For a minute. So when you are going through your question bank for the first time, do not get disheartened if your score is not well. Take it as if you're learning a new thing. Do it again, and then that is your actual score after learning the new concepts that were not there in the booklet. This is what I would like to say.
Okay, great. Thanks, Garima. So guys, we have entire team also with us. So they'll be interacting with you as like we start with subject wise. So okay, so now let's quickly look at what we have covered in our let's look at what we have covered till now. So guys, we have done labor laws, we have done quants, we have done economy, we have done computer knowledge, we have done polity, we have done accounting principles. Okay, and what has not been covered till now is freedom struggle, general science, current affairs, and general English. These 4 topics haven't been covered. Remaining 7 have been covered. So what is the plan? So what is the plan now for remaining 4 topics that I'll tell you. So now exam date has got postponed. So just to spread out the course, to give you more time, so we are giving you a break from classes for next 15 days. So you will not have any classes for next 2 weeks, and after that we'll start again. So our plan is that you will start classes on current affairs and general science around 10th of July. 10th of July, and you will have classes on history around 15th to 20th of July, and again general science, English also 15th of July. This is our plan. So we are giving you break from live classes for next 2 weeks. 2 weeks break. Okay. Now about the content. So for these 7 topics, everything has been given to you. Videos, online question bank, printed booklets. For remaining topics, we will you will have everything available with you around 20th of July 2020. So this is our target. This is our target. Then earlier we had plan of starting the full-length test from 2nd of August. So now we are shifting it to 15th of September. So we'll start full-length test from 15th of September in place of 2nd of August. Okay, so now we'll go to topic by topic. So I'll take you through history, then Meeta ma'am will take you through other things. Okay, before that, before I start with history, again a quick survey with all of you. Which book do you think is sufficient for history? Okay, people are saying Bipin Chandra, people are saying Spectrum, Modern Indian History. Then people are saying NCERT. Okay. Okay. Class 8, Modern India. Okay, fine. Again, guys, today we are sitting here to break some misconceptions. And somebody is writing human fighters material. Of course, we'll try to do our best. Okay. So, guys, you know, for history, what I did, I looked at every question that appeared in 2016 to find out its source. And you know what happened with me? You know, guys, what happened? How many questions came from NCERT books? And you know, I didn't consider NCERT books till class 10th. No, I considered up to class 12. And then let us see. This was from this book. Then this from some book, Ishita Banerjee, Bipin Chandra. Again Bipin Chandra, then this some other book, then Plassey to Partition, and then Ishita Banerjee, this was, then Kripal Singh, then Bipin Chandra, then Plassey to Partition, and then Women in Modern India. Yeah, 2-3 questions came from this book. I don't know if some of you even heard of this book. Okay, and now 2-3 quick things, guys, just to break some misconception. Number 1. There was only 1 question from NCERT books out of 15 questions. Only 1 question out of 15 which was from NCERT books. But do you know, guys, in class 12 there are 3 NCERT books, right? In class 12 there are 3 NCERT books. One is Ancient India, then one is Medieval India, and then third book is Modern India. So there are 3 books in class 12 NCERT. So if your syllabus is Indian freedom struggle, which is clearly given by UPSC guys, what will you study out of these 3 books? Come on, guys, what will you study? You will study third one, right? But this only 1 question, the only 1 question which is there in front of you right now, this was from NCERT book, but this was not given in Modern India. This question has been given, this content, this information has been given in Medieval India. So I'm sure, and nobody will study Medieval India, right? And of course, you are not required to do that. Okay. Now another question which I'll show you. You know, I think some of us have really undermined this exam. Okay. So now this is a question. So I'll tell you what is happening. The answer of this question is Pandita Ramabai was the name of person. So now in NCERT book, I don't know, 8th or 9th, there is a mention of Pandita Ramabai. but they haven't written anywhere that the lady founded Arya Mahila Samaj. Similarly, there was another question actually, which I wanted to. Yeah. So similarly, yeah, for Begum Rokeya, there is a nice photograph in class 10th book, I think, of history. But there is no mention of her works. We just know that there was somebody Begum Rokeya after reading NCERT. So guys, let me make a now make a claim with a lot of responsibility. If somebody would have studied NCERT book in class in year 2016, only NCERT book, he would not have done even a single question correct. Second thing, if somebody would have read only Bipin Chandra, he would have done not more than 3-4 questions correct out of 15 questions. If you so these are the, so if you want to like list of all the sources, this is the complete list. Bipin Chandra, Banerjee Dubey, then Placid to Partition, some book, Women in Modern India, 3 questions came from this book. Then NCERT, class 8, class 9, class 12. That is not only this. Old NCERT. So you don't have to. So I think these will be around maybe 10 books. Correct? So now there are 2 options. Number 1, read these 10 books. Number 2, follow everything which we are giving you. Go through every content, go through every question, every line. Please do not undermine anything in the content. I have done this analysis for history only, a detailed one, but I think I have made my point. Okay, so can we move on to the next one? Yeah, I think Meeta man is there. Meeta, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm just starting the labor laws and will take you through industrial relations, labor welfare, some of the points which I want you to consider and reconsider while going through the syllabus plus online question bank plus and for those who are taking online classes from the human paraters. So what is there we need to emphasize on, we will have a look on that, right? So in all, we have basically in booklet you will find that there are 20 to 21 labor laws. Why we have given only these 20-21 labor laws? Because of our detailed analysis. We have gone through each and every labor law, but what we understood from our analysis that the students need to focus on these only 20 labor laws. There are 19 labor laws. The list is just in front of you. Along with that, there is one code on wages. This is also an act nowadays, right? And because code on wages has now surpassed 4 of the previous labor acts, that is Payment of Wages Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Bonus Act, Equal Remuneration Act, it does not mean that we will not we don't have to do the previous acts. We have to do simultaneously both the things, right? Code on wages along with previous acts. Along with that, we need to emphasize on the comparative analysis of what is there, what are the new things which have been incorporated in the code on wages, right? And why it has been incorporated. Then our next question revolves around that whether we need to focus on the rules which are the part of the acts. No, we just need to focus on each and every line which has been given a very simpler version of the provisions of acts have been provided in the study material. That is sufficient enough to cover your entire syllabus for cracking this exam, right? You don't have to emphasize on the rules except few of them which have been provided in the study material, that is ESI Act and standing orders, right? And focus on the latest amendments. What is the latest year of the amendment and what was the latest amendment calls for, right? What does it include? That should be your focus area.
for all the labor laws. With respect to industrial relations, all the chronological sequence has to be learned by you. There is no short route, there is no escaping out of it. And along with that, all political, all leaders which have been associated, the names of which have been associated with the IR events, you need to learn them by heart. There is no escape rule. And besides theories of labor welfare, every theory in industrial relations and then trade unionism theories, all are very, very important as far as your exam is concerned. And more important, you need to emphasize on understanding of the basic concepts lying behind these theories, right? Because they shuffle up between the theories, and then they will ask you the twisted questions. They might not be asking you the direct questions. And in question bank of Human Paratest, we have covered almost 3,000 questions on IR, labor welfare, and labor acts. What we think is that we just want to make our students confident enough to face any variant of the question which might be there in the paper, right? So that is sufficient for your practice.
Okay, guys. So these 3,000 questions which Meeta ma'am is discussing about, these 3,000 questions, I mean, just make sure that you go through every line in the explanation. This is so valuable, and you know, chances are very high that you'll find all questions covered in these 3,000 questions. They are so important. Again, going through booklets not sufficient. You have to go through these questions, guys. There's no second thought about that. Okay, so quantitative aptitude. So this is the syllabus which we have worked. And guys, how did we come at this syllabus? UPSC guys only wrote quantitative aptitude and general mental ability. Then how did we make our decision that which is not part of syllabus? We have done based on analysis of number of recruitment exams with UPSC keep doing, guys. Lot of analysis has gone. After that only we have arrived that we'll be doing these topics only as far as quantitative aptitude is concerned. Next thing, the level of difficulty of quantitative aptitude is not high. These are easy questions. You just have to understand the question. So what are we trying to say, guys? Do not start doing these questions now as if you are preparing for MBA entrance exam, CAT, or those tougher exams. No, the difficulty level is not very high. Questions are easy. Stick to the basics. Stick to the basics. Do not worry about, you know, sometimes whenever you will study quantitative aptitude, people will try to impress you with faster calculation, Vedic maths, and all those things. Do not worry about all these things. Stick to the basics. Stick to the basics. You will hardly find a difficult question in any UPSC recruitment exam on quantitative aptitude. Questions are generally easy. You just have to understand the basics. Of course, now the definition of easy may be different. That obviously you can figure out. Take any class 8, class 9 maths book, and you can, if you are not able to solve simple time, speed, and distance question, if you are not even aware that the formula of simple interest is principal into rate into time by 100, if you do not know how to calculate average speed, then of course they are not easy. Then it's a difficult. But if you are comfortable with this level, then it's a very easy section. And you should target in such a way that not even a single question is incorrect from this section. Okay, guys. So we'll start with next one now. Indian economy.
Good evening, guys.
Yeah.
So when we talk regarding the subject of Indian economy, okay, now we study regarding the different concepts that are like, you can recall that we have monetary policy, we have the foreign exchange rates and all. Okay, now basically we study regarding these concepts independently. In different chapters. Okay, so the monetary policy is in a different chapter as compared to the inflation rates and all. Okay, now just basically understand this, that a standalone understanding, that is what I'm saying, that a mere understanding of these concepts, guys, is not at all sufficient. Now why? Because questions that are asked in the paper are basically application based questions. Okay, the application of these concepts, how these concepts are related to each other. So you have to basically emphasize on that, right? So let me give you an example that, see, if repo rate increases, what will happen to the inflation? Okay, whether there will be inflation or whether there will be deflation. Okay, so if you do not practice such types of questions, you will not be able to solve the questions in the paper. Because see guys, a deeper understanding is very much required. Fine. Now coming to the next thing is that see, the Indian economy subject is a dynamic subject. You are well aware of this. Okay, so better be well versed with the recent changes that are taking place. Okay, so let me give you an example that in monetary policy we study regarding the various instruments that are there. Okay, we have studied regarding the CLR, we have studied regarding the SLR, the CRR and the SLR, and etc. Okay, recently in March itself a new instrument was introduced. Now what is the name of that instrument? It is LTRO. So it is long term repo operations. So this was introduced. This is a new monetary policy instrument. So basically guys, what I'm trying to tell you over here is that you need to be updated with such recent changes. Now talking regarding our question bank, guys, as sir has already emphasized enough. Now how do you get a good command over all of these application based questions that I'm talking about? Okay, how do you get a good command over these? You have to practice from the questions on our online question bank. Okay, so we have basically provided a detailed explanation regarding all of the questions out there. So guys, I'm repeating myself over here. If you do not practice these questions, you will not be able to ace the exams for sure. Okay, so
guys.
going through the question bank is a must. Fine.
And as Megha ma'am is making really important point here. See, there is a different chapter on inflation, right? There is a different chapter on maybe monetary policy, right? There are different chapters, correct, in our content. But examiner is not going to ask you what is monetary policy or what is. So how inflation changes with the change in interest rate or monetary policy? That you will understand only when you will do the questions. This is another example of why question bank is becoming more and more important. Okay, next one. Yeah, so now we'll start next subject, computer knowledge.
Hi everyone. Guys, when we checked out the paper, as you can see, the questions are basic, like basic questions. They haven't asked anything very deep. All they've asked are abbreviations, basic functioning of a computer, hardware, software, the technologies, and memory space. This does not mean that they cannot ask you further than this. It's just that you need to be very clear about your basic concepts. You need to sit down, pick up your book, and start reading through it. You have all studied about these concepts. It's just that you need to learn them again. Most of you would have forgotten how much is a megabyte, how much is a terabyte. You need to remember all of these things. You can read them once, go on the online test platform, and we have given comprehensive information in it. And there are a few more concepts. There are concepts like SQLite or email, mail merge. Then you have different types of networks, different types of malwares. Those are the concepts from which they can ask you questions. All right. Imagine getting a question about an email and you would have thought that it's an easy topic. No, you need to understand what are the different functioning of it. You need to understand the different shortcuts, different features of Microsoft. Then go for abbreviation. Start reading about digital divide. You'll find every single thing in your books and you'll find all the questions on your test platform.
Okay, guys. Next topic. Let us take about Indian policy. So Varun, just hold on, guys. Just give us 10 minutes more, then we will be done. Then we'll take up your questions only. That is the next thing which we'll do. So for Indian polity, one thing: stick to the constitution. I mean, do not worry too much about detailed interpretation or court cases or judgments of the different articles. Just stick to the basics. Look for exceptions. Then okay, nothing more from polity side. We have covered it very well. And okay, so guys, next thing is general science. Okay, so this is one question which came in 2006. General science, very easy. Yeah, very easy, right? Okay, class 9 general science. Okay, now look at this question, guys. Which of the following material is not dimagnetic? Do you know this question is in class 11th physics? In class 10th, you do not even know what diamagnetic is. And knowing that out of all these elements, which one is no diamagnetic at STP? It's an even specific case. You won't find it anywhere. We have done our research. This has been given in a table in class 11th physics book. I'll show you another question. And there are so many of them. Bioremediation has been given in class 12th biology book. It's given in class 12th biology book. So guys, what has to be done? Till class 10th, everything. Till class 10th, everything. But class 11th, 12th also you have to study with the selective study. Now, what is meaning of selective study, guys? Focus more on the application of different concepts. Okay, let me give you some example actually, but you have to help me with that. What is the chemical formula of plaster of Paris? I think it's CaSO4 half water, right? I don't know. I think something close to that. Okay, it's something close to that. I'm not very sure. So guys, now they are going to ask you how Ca is bonded with SO, S single bond, double bond, O, and all those things. But you should be knowing that this is plaster of Paris. These are formula of plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is used in XYZ, and so you have to do selective study. But class 11, 12 NCERT are equally important. Of course, we are doing a lot of hard work for you, and we should be able to cover everything in our online question bank and in our booklets. But this analysis is just to give you this perception, and you just go, because there's such a big world to give you gyan. You search on Quora preparation tips for EPF4. You go on YouTube, 20 videos will come up, and everybody will tell you the same thing: NCERT class 10, NCERT class 10, NCERT class 10. But guys, questions are not coming. What do we do? Okay, so yeah, there is another misconception which we have seen is that because some of you are civil services aspirant, you mix general science with science and tech. These are two different things, guys. Do not mix general science with science and tech, which you study for civil services. Just stick to NCERT, but till class 12. Okay, current affairs, anyway, nothing much to tell. Focus more on factual. In civil services, you also have to understand more into issues so that you can write detailed answer. Here you do not need that. Our plan is to cover current affair from September 19 to till whenever exams will happen, and focus more on factual matters: who is doing what, who is winning which tournament, who is getting which prize, different schemes. A lot of current affairs we have already covered in Indian economy book also. If you look at carefully, the name of book is Indian Economy and Development. So whatever is under development schemes and all those things, they are your current affairs only. But still, we'll giving a lot of content on current affairs as well. Okay. Next thing, stick to India-related issues only. There's no need to. I mean, of course, global issues where India is related. If India is doing a joint naval exercise with China, no, not with China anymore, with Australia, then it's important to understand name of that joint military exercise or naval exercise or whatever. Okay, so second last topic, general English.
Hello everybody, my name is Priyanka, and I'll just give you a brief about the general English and what exactly they ask in the exam. So we studied a lot of UPSC recruitment exams to come up with the types of questions that they actually ask in these exams. So we found that there are 9 types of questions from which they ask English questions. And in the last 2016 exam, they asked 20 questions from English. And but they only used 4 types of these questions. But still, we need to study all these 9 types because we don't know from in the next exam they'll ask about which. Okay, so in the when we teach you during the class, we'll exactly tell you what exactly you have to study in each type of question. But before that, it's very important that you have a very good understanding of the basic grammar of English, right? And I would really suggest that just immediately start reading newspapers, books, magazines, anything in English that's there to give you a good command over English, because that's very important. Because in English, there is no definite syllabus or no definite book that from where they will ask you the question. You really need to have vast, vocabulary to answer the questions in English, right? So vocabulary is important, basic grammar is important to answer these questions, and you really, really need to study English magazines, novels, newspapers. Just start reading that. And how to answer each question, even when you don't know the answer, we will tell you exactly how to answer those type of questions when we take the class. Okay, so this is all about the English. It's fun because if you have a good knowledge about English, good hold on your English language, whether it's spoken or it's written or reading even, you'll be able to answer these questions pretty easily. So that's all from my side, sir.
Yeah, and guys, for again these types, again we have put them together by analyzing a lot of different papers. So we'll come to the last topic and then we'll take up questions. Yeah, for accounting.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Parth. And for your preparation strategy regarding accounting principles, first you need to understand what exactly is this phrase accounting principle, right? Starting from this phrase itself, your accounting principle, see, when you're starting a journey in accounting, you need to focus on the very basic concepts. Like, to name a few, all of you must have heard about ledgers or journal entries, right? But to start with the journals and your ledger entries, what do you need to understand? You need to understand what exactly are the rules. What exactly is a debit and what exactly is a credit, right? So start at the 11th and 12th, the very basics of accounting, right? And after doing a detailed analysis and mapping of your EPFO examination questions, we were able to confirm that only the basics are not able to score 100% marks, right? It's not able to ace the subject of accounting. So we move on to the graduation level, the accounting that is being taught at the graduation level. But the questions were even superseding those concepts. So we looked at some professional accounting bodies, right? Some professional accounting sources. And we were able to identify that from those courses, some questions are being asked. So what exactly do you need to cover? The first point is to solidify your basics. Make weekly goals. See, accounting, it's a very vast subject, right? Don't try to gulp it down at once. Don't try to mug up the subjects. In accounting, a mere reading to understand how exactly is what a debit and a credit, it's not enough, right? A mere reading would not help you. You need to read that concept, understand it, and see how exactly is it practically applied when you're doing the practical journal entries and ledgers, right? So that exactly is accounting. Once you're done with your content, like I said, make weekly goals. Focus on the first 2 chapters in the first week, right? In the next week, be consistent. Cover the next 2 chapters. Don't leave it for the next week. Make weekly goals, break your syllabus down into chapter parts, right? And you'll be able to understand the concepts, get the deep understanding, and make practical learning. Reading the concepts is not itself enough, right? So move on to the question bank, like it's been reiterated time and again. Practice the question banks. You'll able to retain your concepts with clarity. Once you have the concept clarity, move on to the higher level chapters in your accounting that require more professional knowledge, right? So this should be your preparation plan, a step-by-step progress. All right, guys. So to sum it up, your booklet will once again, it will have a weightage of around 20 to 30%. The remaining 40% of your preparation will be done from your question bank. And what about the remaining 40%? This is about 60 to 70%, right? That is your practical learning in your live classes. What if you're not able to understand the debit and the credit for the people who have no background in accounting? That is where you need help, correct? So that is what you need to focus on to make a good progress with this subject as well. This will be it from my side.
Okay, thank you, Parth sir. So, okay guys, so now we'll start with the questions. Sumit Kumar wants to speak, so let us hear from Sumit first. Okay, can we give mic to Sumit?
Sir, actually I have a question regarding the English section. Sir, in English, do we need to cover the entire grammar or a specific grammar? Especially in the vocab section, what we need to cover?
So English story is primarily about 2 things. Number 1 is some vocab based. Second story is some grammar based. Okay. So this vocab based thing, we will advise you to start building it right now. Do not wait for us. Get any like good vocab book or whatever way, newspaper and all those. I mean, just Google any video how to build a vocab and to start, because this vocab story takes a lot of time. And now that exam date is also postponed, therefore start building your vocab. Now, for grammar point of view, please don't worry. We'll teach you everything.
Sir, I would just like to add here. Sumit, you know that vocab is not limited, right? Like it's infinite. There's so many words, and we cannot compress that into one small booklet. So you have to study, like keep on reading new things, but keep on reading newspapers to collect or to build up your own vocab as well. Okay.
So then we have a question from Nishant. When exam is likely to be taken? So Nishant, although to be very honest, it will be very unfair to make a guess, because government has not taken any decision, and your government is not aware. We do not know next month we'll have 10 lakh cases in the country, or we'll have 1 crore cases in the country. So it's a very uncertain future. But I can tell you, minimum the exam has got postponed by minimum 2 months. So we don't expect it before end of December. So now after that, when it will happen, it's really difficult to say. It depends on a lot of factors, actually. Lot of factors. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Okay. Then Sanuj is asking, some labor laws have changed recently. Kindly provide a class on updation. Of course, we'll do that. See, guys, whatever is changing now in the static content, that automatically becomes part of your current affairs. So your current affair will also tell you a lot of changes which are happening in labor laws, which are happening in Indian economy, and a lot of things. Your current affair will cover all those things.
I would like to add on here one thing in response to Sanuj query, that there are certain state level changes in the labor laws. So we don't have to go for that, right, Sanuj?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is also right. Because of COVID, I think there's not even a single change in labor laws. Whatever,
Yeah,
see,
there
might
are state level changes. I'm pretty sure on that.
Yeah, they are state level. They are not in original acts. Okay, so Muthu Kumaran says, I'm not in live class. I'm just using study material. I want to know online test will be extended or new exam is announced. So guys, another thing, we will support you to our best till your exam. So we won't run away on 4th of October because exam was supposed to be 4th of October. Don't worry, we'll support you. Okay, Aditya, we have answered. Aditya was asking same thing. Okay, Varun is asking about book on Indian economy. Guys, this Indian economy book is really nicely compiled. I think even civil services guys can also use it. I know which are the other Indian economy books which you might be studying in market. I know name of some of those books. This book even is much better than whatever book is available in market for Indian economy. Then Nishant, okay, Pranali is asking. Okay, Pranali want to speak something. Can we give mic to Pranali now?
Hello, sir. Actually, I'm a full-time working aspirant, and I'm sure there are so many like me. So, how to revise such a huge syllabus? Are you providing subject-wise test for revision, or any guidance regarding how to revise the subject effectively? Because there is so much months gap, so I'm not sure I'm able to recollect it till exam.
So about the lack of time, if you have very limited time, I would say go for an 80-20 approach in which you focus on the 80% subject where you think the maximum questions will come from, and leave the 20% which require you to mug up a lot. And in certain subjects where you feel you do not have time to do anything, just cram up the questions. Keep doing the questions as many times as you can.
Okay. See, again, Pranali, first thing is that there is no shortcut actually. I know that you are working and you don't have much time, but then you have to, like, I don't know, sleep less or whatever you have to do. But you have to put in good number of hours. There's absolutely no shortcut. It's, guys, it is a really serious exam. 10 lakh people are appearing for it. It is going to change your life. We at Human Pietas are very serious about it. Are you also serious? You have to think. Okay. Then Andrew says, please give us 3 attempts to every online question paper. Andrew, you can take 10 attempts. Guys, if you want to rewrite any test, you can do that. If you want to create any test, you can do that. There is a process of doing that. Just look at the video. We have sent you a video in the same email in which you got username and password. Watch that video, you will understand how you can do it. Still, if you can't figure it out, write us an email, we'll tell you. But you can write any test any number of times. Amruta says, will we get access to till the exams? Yes. Yes, guys, we'll support you till the exam. So Shantanu is saying UP government has suspended some labor laws via ordinance. Yes, Shantanu, you are right. They have done that, but it is not required to be understood for our exam. Just ignore it. Ravi Shankar says, can you provide estimated date of online coaching? Yeah. So guys, we plan to complete your course somewhere in September. By September, we'll complete online classes. Then Himanshu Datta says, what is the marks distribution in EPFO? Himanshu, we have done it on our website. Go to our website, go to the EPFO page. On that page, we have shown how many questions came from which subject in 2016. Guys, but remember that in 2016, there were 5 questions on economy, right? There were 15 questions on 15 questions on freedom struggle. In 2020, this 5 can change to 15 and this 15 can change to 25. Anything can happen. We have seen it earlier exams. See, UPSC Assistant Labor Commissioner was done in 2014. Then it was done in 2017. In 2014, there was 25 questions on labor laws. In 2017, there were 45 questions on labor laws. That is also a recruitment exam. Okay, can we have Shashi Kumar now? Shashi Kumar?
Hello.
Yeah, Shashi, please speak up.
Actually, I bought only books only from Human
Okay.
Creditors.
Okay.
My question is my question is regarding labor laws. So when I read labor law books, I find it difficult to remember the number of persons in which act, and so it is quite difficult for me to remember those numbers and who is who. So is there any suggestion you will provide on that?
The two suggestions I have. Number one, start making your notes. I mean, start making your own small notes on these labor laws. Do not just stick to underline the books. Okay, start doing that. Start practicing questions. This should be sufficient for you. Still, if you feel that you are struggling, then you should consider studying in live classes. This is what we would advise.
Okay.
Spend some time.
Okay, thank you.
Try to do on your own. Start writing things. Start making your own notes. Still, if you can't figure it out, then take some external help. Yes, Jao, please speak up.
Okay, so.
Yes, speak up. Yeah. So, guys, Jao is from where? Jao, where do you stay?
Guwahati.
Yeah, Jao is from Guwahati. Okay, Jao, please.
Okay, so I just want, can you just kindly write 2 words for me on the screen, sir?
2 words? Yeah, tell me.
I'm going to mention the word DAL. DALDER. DASS. That's Balderdas. And then Hunky Dory. HUNKY.
Okay.
DORY. Hunky Dory.
Okay.
Yeah, just these 2 words. So what I used to do every day is I read the Hindu every day. I just pick up those words which I find it very difficult. I just look it up from the dictionary and then just learn all those.
Okay.
So what I want to ask is the UPSC concerned with just only the meaning of the words, or are they trying to use this type of difficult words in a sentence, or are they just going to ask the opposite synonym? So how are they going to frame the questions in a situation like this?
Okay, so Jao, I think let us do 2 things. Number one, wait for some time. Anyway, we'll come back to you on the English thing. In the meantime, why don't you look at this 2016 paper also? It has got around 20 questions. Out of them, I think 5-6 are vocab based. Just look at the kind of word they have used. See, again, because I have seen the words, they are not very difficult. They are not very difficult. The difficulty level is average, which I would say.
Also, Zhao, it's very easy. Don't worry about the level. They don't really ask very high-end level type of questions in the general English, because as the name suggests, it's general English. Okay, so they won't ask you super difficult vocab also, or super difficult sentences also. It'll be medium level English, not very low level, but certain medium level will be there in the kind of questions that they ask in English. Okay, and don't worry about how will you answer a question. So when we take the English classes, we will actually tell you that if there appears to be a question that you do not know, a word that you do not know, how to decipher it if you are not aware of any of the words, you have not heard of any of those words before. Okay, so don't worry about that. So when we take the class, we will be able to answer your query in more depth during that time.
Okay, So guys, I think some of you are asking the same question again, which we have already answered, that how to remember things. Guys, the only way to remember is writing it down. There is no shortcut, guys. You don't have any magical formula for you. Just keep writing. That is the only way. So Rohit Tomar is asking, is labor market important to read? Yes, Rohit. And you know, in fact, Rohit, we did a lot of discussion actually on this topic, whether we should be having labor market part of syllabus. So, but there have been questions in UPSC exams on demand and supply of labor. So that is why, Rohit, we decided to include it as part of syllabus. I think what is happening, Sanuj is asking, how do you command journal entries? Parth, sir, could you spend some? So Parth, are you there?
Yes, sir. Hi, Sanuj. Recently, another student. Yes, Sanuj, I'm answering your query. Recently, another student was also facing difficulty in understanding the journal entry. Right. So let me just give you a very basic example, and I'll explain you what exactly do you need to focus on whenever you're passing a very basic journal entry or a very complex journal entry. Sir, could you please write this journal entry on the screen? Salary account debit. Salary account debit.
Just give me a second. Huh?
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Guys, salary,
all of you,
account debit, yes.
Debit to cash account. To cash account. This is what I do in my live classes as well. This is what has been taught. Now, if you look at this journal entry is when a business pays salary in cash to its employee. Now, you get that for that transaction, this is the journal entry. Now, as a student who has no background in accounting, you're facing a difficulty as to why is this debited and why is this credited, right? The very first pointer, if all of you want to write it down on a sheet of paper, which will help you in the future as well, write it down. The first thing that you need to do is that whenever you're passing a journal entry and you want to gain command over it, always take yourself as business and not as the businessman. Take yourself as the business. Assume yourself, you're the business and you're paying the cash, right? Then comes the conceptual understanding of this journal entry. From the conceptual point of view, I need to point out the rules for accounting, right? Like I've already told you, there are two sets of rules. There's a traditional set and then there's a modern set. Now, talking about my personal preference, I prefer the model rules at times, but your traditional rules as well, write them down on a sheet of paper. Write them down on a sheet of paper and keep them in front of you and start passing the journal entries like it's done on the screen. Salary has been paid, it's an expense. According to the rules of your accounting, expenses are debited, right? Expenses are debited. So you can quickly refer to the rule, the page in front of you. Refer to the rule, refer to the transaction, break it down, break the debit aspect and the credit aspect down. That is your second step, right? And if you can relate as to why which account is debited and why which account is credited, you will have the command over your journal entries. So to sum it up, the first point, take yourself as a business while passing the journal entry. The second point, gain command over your rules of accounting. This is the only way you will make sure that your journal entries are correct and you understand the logic behind it, right? And I've also discussed each and every journal entry with this concept in my classes as well. Each and every journal entry.
Then Ashwarya is saying, okay, Ashwarya is saying, sir, some tests after attempting, they reappear for me. Is it after updating? Okay, guys, you know, we also keep updating a lot of content. We keep putting a lot of new questions. It's a continuous exercise. Sometimes there is a mistake which we correct that. So if any mistake is corrected, then entire test goes into unattempted section again. That is why that test looks to you again unattempted. So unattempted means, Ashwarya, that we have changed that. Then I think, see guys, there are a lot of other questions. I'm only taking those where I really have something tangible to speak. Sunny is asking, is Lakshmikant enough for polity? Sunny, we don't do that. Just go through our content. That should be fine. Nishant, can I want to join only account and labor? So Nishant Tripathi, write this thing in an email. Then who else? Muthu Kumar, I'm facing a lot of difficulty in accounting. I need to join accounting class. Please arrange a crash course for accounting. Okay, guys, send us an email. We'll see whatever best we can do. Send us an email on this. Then somebody is asking, it is mandatory to study entire labor laws. Yes, you have to. Guys, there's nothing unnecessary in the content. You have to go through every line. Okay, now this is really. So Shyam Prasad is asking, if I crack the exam, when will I get joining letter from UPSC? Shyam, we don't know. It's really beyond us. We stick ourselves only to getting your offer letter and not what will happen after that. For that, you have to speak to Ministry of Labor and Employment. Sir, guide for social security. So Varun, once you will study your entire content of labor laws, IR, social security is automatically covered in that. There's no separate content for social security. So Mr. Javed saying, sir, stretch the classes as much as possible because working professional don't get much time. Yeah. So Mr. Jav, we are doing based on this feedback only that now we'll have lesser number of classes every week, so that you guys feel comfortable. Muthu Kumar is asking for crash course. Send us an email, Muthu Kumar. We'll do something about it. Okay, guys. So with that, we'll wind up the class. If I couldn't answer some of you, please send us an email. Send us an email at upsc@humanpatterns.com, and you will always get a reply. Okay. Then somebody, Sanuj is saying, please keep all live classes post 8 p.m. Okay, Sanuj, we'll try to do that. Himanshu is saying, can we depend only human patterns for current affairs? Yes, you can, Himanshu. It's our responsibility. Yes, email ID is upsc@humanpatterns.com, guys. Any query not answered till now, please send it to us. Okay. I think Aditya has written something. Aditya is saying, okay. Maybe Aditya, we can have you on mic. So Aditya is saying some nice things about us. So okay, Aditya is the last person who will speak, and then we'll wind up. Yes, Aditya.
Hello.
Yes, Aditya. Yeah, please speak.
Yes, I just wanted to tell that some of the subjects were entirely out of the purview of what I have studied from childhood, like accounts and like labor laws and all. The teachers were very the description that gives the human patterns on the website that will tell you what not to study and what has to be studied is exactly means it is evident from the course material, especially the live classes. So I would like to thank all the teachers that they are doing this commendable job, especially like Meeta ma'am, Parth sir. These are like godfathers and godmothers for me, especially because these subjects used to terrify me before this. I used to prepare for this exam, and just a goodwill gesture to everybody on this panel which is presently addressing us. Thank you all.
Okay. So Aditya, where do you stay?
I stay at Prayagraj, like presently erstwhile Allahabad.
Okay, you are from Allahabad. Okay, great. So Aditya, all the best, and all the best to everybody else. Again, any doubt, send us an email, guys.